Hello everyone, resetting some crystals. For those of you that are new here, my name is Bree, and today I will be serving as, a lot of energy is coming through. I'll be serving as a conduit to bring in messages from our collective higher self consciousness. I'll be receiving messages that will be serving for the highest good of all. And I'm going to be using some oracle decks that I have here to support the messaging. Anything that may feel like your friction point at this time, what I want you to do is potentially write that down because it's going to be alchemized. It feels like this full moon is really showing us a very strong reflection of ourselves. So it doesn't matter if you've ever considered yourself to be introspective or have self-awareness. This full moon will demand it of us. So what I want to do is really just help smooth the energies. I'd like you all to be aware that this space is protected by very massive multidimensional beings that will be sweeping across all levels, layers, planes, and dimensions throughout the entire session. So I ask you to be respectful in the comments. I ask that you be conscious of that I am bringing through a lot of messages that are from versions of me that are much more aware than I am. Versions of me that are much more ascended than I am. So just know that if I drop into those channels in this reading, know that it's because it's what's for the highest good and I'm surrendered to that. So you might see bits in this transmission where my ego starts to come in and say, are you going to share that? And I'm training my ego and self to always bring it through, even if I feel it may push a button or I'm catching a theme in the Akashic records of the space that I feel this might really do some things. I trust and surrender to spirit in these readings. So I'm essentially just trying to share with you that the purpose of today is to anchor our love. The purpose of today is to hear from aspects of us, levels of us that want to transmit to us, but for some reason we couldn't hear it or see it or feel it or receive it. It's all about trust and surrender, and it needs to start with us. So what the full moon's really showing us is anything that we're perceiving is out there, it's turning it back on us. And that's really what what serves us best in the ascension journey. Because as long as we stay glued to what's out there and maybe blame out there or judge out there, we're robbing ourselves of an opportunity to see something about us. So I have two decks with us today, and it feels like they're dancing together, which I'm very excited about. The Rose Oracle, which I've been working with this for a few years, very familiar, I'll say. And this is by Rebecca Campbell. The artwork is Katie Louise. Rebecca Campbell's decks are phenomenal. So if you're new to oracles, that would be a great place to start that I'll suggest. And then a newer deck that I have is the Archangel Oracle by Diana Cooper. And the artwork is Jane Delaford Taylor. Now, the Archangels are something I want to speak to before I even go into the cards. And I want to invite you, if you're listening to this while driving or operating machinery, to please not anymore. Come back to it at another time, because embedded in this, hello Ramon, embedded in this are light codes. So they're coming through. I can't really do much about it. They're going to be swimming through. There's going to be guides coming through. There's going to be healing coming through. You might feel lighter after this. You might feel uplifted after this. You might feel some type of way after we sit together for a little while. And I just want you to know anything that comes up, hydration is the key. So maybe you get some tingling, some sensation, some temperature change. Maybe you just feel a different type of way in your mental body or your emotional body. Drink a lot of water. And then whatever you... I am too, Thomas. And then whatever the mind is saying, just know that you always have the ability to start to build a dialogue with the mental stream you're getting. As in, speak to yourself inside your own head and ask yourself why you're thinking the things you're thinking. So if you feel you're looping, this must be the archangels coming through with the archetypes. So they're highlighting an archetype that may be present where you feel your mind spirals sometimes. Everyone's been there. I certainly used to be there a lot more than I ever get now. But what they're showing me is whenever that happens, part of this transmission, what it's going to do is help you kind of understand how that got there, so that you can code it in love and sort of let it go. Because if your mind is trailing and your mind is spiraling and your mind is looping and your mind is repetitive, let's say, there's always the ability to shift that through the heart. But if we stay in the mind and try to fix the mind mess with the mind, we just end up ping-ponging it. They always show me this imagery of people playing ping pong in around someone's third eye, because you're going to send it out, send it back. It's not going to do anything. It's going to be very stagnant. And the thing about energy, the thing about the universe, the cosmos, is that everything is always changing. Everything is always in motion. Everything is always vibrating. You see where I'm going. Okay, so I'm going to start with an archangel card. I'm getting 7, and we're going to kick it off. Settle in. You might want to bring some crystals, a journal, maybe light some incense or Palo Santo or sage. Hi, Jen. So happy to have you here. Okay, let's get the first card. And before I start reading it, I'm just invoking that all of our highest Christed light spirit guides that are in alignment with Source be present in this transmission, and that they saturate the space in unconditional love and light, divine unconditional love and light that is completely transmutative and alchemizing of any fear that may arise, anything that may arise to take us out of our alignment. We're just having it all protected. Okay. The energies are strong today. Archangel Hope. Look for a cosmic gift. Remember you deserve it. This is very interesting because I channeled a message from the Pleiadians this morning that showed me a whole bunch of stuff about space travel and cosmic aspects. If that intrigues you, check out my YouTube. But Archangel Hope is coming to show us... Okay. She's wanting me to talk about the chakras. Give me a moment as I tune in. Okay. So she's showing me the rainbow ray. She's showing me how... Yeah, they want to play a little game with you and your consciousness. This is fun. Okay, so they want you to see that you're light. You know this. Somehow inside you know I am light. I am made of light. That is what my soul is made out of. Everything sources from light, 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 light. And so they're wanting you to see that you're this divine white light, a pillar of light, streaming from Source into this body. And so it breaks into this prism, which is your chakras. And so what Archangel Hope is wanting to show you is locate the bands of light that need to be saturated in love. Locate the bands of light, the levels of your consciousness that need just a little love. They need a little introspection. They need a little attention. And so that's why when we look from the root chakra, let's all plant our consciousness, our awareness here to make this a little more like an energetic practice and energetic return to our soul. So when you're perceiving your life from your root chakra, your red ray of light, the aspect of your light that is emanating as red, the grounded, abundant center of fueling for you in all of the that will come after that place within your being. I often am shown that we come in and we're basically a root chakra when we come in. And then the chakras build from there, which is a little funky and weird, but some of you will have fun with it. And some of you are releasing from the heart chakra right now, potentially in the future. Breathe, breathe, breathe. I'm actually being shown to have all of us take our shoulders up to our ears, back, and then relax them down. Mine just like did a bunch of sounds. So you may want to do that or just hang out. But they're showing me now to move to the sacral chakra, this orange ray, and just scan these places. They actually don't want me to share any words because they don't want to muddy these spaces with words. They want you to tune in directly from the light. You know, when you're tuning into the sacral, just go to that area in your consciousness. Just be with it. Don't even let anything... They're showing me a lot of us will go to like graphs we saw of what the chakras are supposed to symbolize. And they said, go deeper. You know, go into the chakra. Go into the deep energy that's there. And then go into the solar plexus, the yellow space. See, how do I feel when I'm saturated in this yellow light? How do I feel when I'm emanating this golden yellow light? Moving up to the heart, the green, lush space where everything grows from. And then anything that you're having come up, maybe it's sensation, maybe it's a memory or even a wound. But as that comes up, can you coat that in love? Just with your intentionality, can you liquefy that into love? And Archangel Hope just wants me to share the blue throat chakra is a very predominant chakra we're going to be working on today. Whew. And the indigo ray of your third eye, if anything is going on up here like we talked about in the beginning with spiraling, what I'm being shown is that you need to work with the indigo ray much more than you are right now, because no, they want you to go with the energetics there. So just saturate your mind in indigo light. Let go of the rest. Let go of the story. And now they're moving us up into the crown, this violet ray of light, this chakra with which we can always call on Saint Germain and the violet flame to bring the whole system into alignment, to purify the system, to protect all the systems, all the layers. And woo, they are coming through today. Whew. Everyone take a breath. Okay. My stomach just got really healed by the guides. If anyone's having that too, they're showing me to have to rub some circles over that sacral chakra. It was very powerful in the sacral for me. But how was it for you? Did anyone feel a chakra that was like telling you some things and singing you some things in particular as Archangel Hope scanned up through our chakra system? Cool. Perfect. They do spin. So when we intentionalize it, it makes it even more potent. Okay, so we're being invited burping. Yep, we're going to do some clearing in this session. It's very natural, it just happens. Okay, cool. So heart and sacral, the throat, we've got some burping, we've got some root chakras. Okay, some solar plexus. So we're all across the board. Beautiful. That's why they opened it up with the rainbow ray. To make sure that we are all swimming in unison. Okay, so we're getting a Rose Oracle card. 3 and 4 is what I'm getting. And we'll play the game on the next card. If I forget that, let me know. The game, you ask. What is it? The game is when I hold up a deck and I'll have your clairs activate. And then I'll hold up the deck and you'll be able to tell me the number that comes up for you. And then we'll do a couple little mini reads. What that's really good about is it's kind of catching... Yeah, they want me to speak to this. Oh, it's going to be a session today. Okay. So they want me to share... So as you're feeling the shifts in this session, I don't know why they keep showing a piece of paper and a pen, and I have one here too. But some of you, yes, okay. Might be... Oh, I dropped a crystal. Oh, it didn't crack. No, it did crack. Blessings. Oh, I'm so sorry, Labradorite Tower. Everybody's son loved my Labradorite. I'm sorry, baby. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, I treat my crystals like pets. I mean, like my beloved sacred soul family. I'm so sorry, Labradorite. Oh, it's like the third crystal I've broken in 3 years. Okay, sorry. I'm just having a moment because I'm sad. And that's like life, you know? It's probably because of my Labradorite. All right, guides, swim through the fields and help us heal from this. Oh, interesting. It happened for a reason. Okay. Oh, boy. All right, so they're actually sharing attachment is the theme they really want me to talk about here, which is, wow, to have me recover from that grief so quickly. Thank you, guides. But they're sharing that, oh, sweet baby. She's still happy. She's singing. She's still happy. Okay. I love you, baby. Okay, so what they're wanting me to share is that attachment is something to always return to. And so whenever we feel like that oomph, like that kick in the stomach, like when you drop your favorite crystal and you're like, ah! Sorry, that was like so loud, but scared a few away. But they're sharing that's your reminder on earth that even grief, grief is really showing us how important things were to us, how important people were to us. And so what we're being reminded of is it's not about detachment per se, but what we're learning is how can we love without an attachment? So how can we love and also allow every single being in our life to have their sovereignty, to have their willpower leading their lives? How can we subtly ensure, interesting, it's a live revelation I'm having, but how can we ensure that we aren't creating pulls back or ties on anyone around us, that we're allowing everyone to be just as free as we want to be? And that's a really, in the human, this is the training ground. This is where we're learning forgiveness. This is where we're learning sovereignty. This is where we're learning how to let go of that which we cannot control, which is every other person outside of us. Every other event outside of us. All we have control over is us. And so, yeah, that feels that my crystal had to take one for the team here to help us learn about healthy relationships in life and not clutching too hard to anyone or anything, so that we can allow all beings to really be their own light and be their own love, be their own soul blueprint, their divine soul blueprint. Okay, and back to the Rose Oracle. Sorry for that little, I don't know, wake-up call for us, I guess. It's a wake-up call for me, for sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Love. Thank you, Wise Silence. Then we're good. We're recalibrated. We went through it. We didn't run from the storm. We went through the storm. And now we are in the rainbow. Okay. The anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. Okay, so this is what I really wanted. This is what they're wanting me to share, the guides. When it comes to leadership, they want me to have you all tune into... Oh, and the message earlier that was coming through that I lost, because the crystal, is you might want to write some things down in this session. Because what the guides were showing me is that some of you might have light language come through via written form. You also might have some kind of aha or something might... Yeah, they're kind of showing me like a concept or a word or something might kind of click for you in the session. And then when you take note of it, you're sort of, it's a manifestation process. So you're basically just stamping it into your tangible reality when you write it down. Okay, so what they're wanting me to share is that however you feel around leadership, what they're wanting you to do is turn it in. So start showing yourself how well you lead yourself. So the next time that you're kind of like having a moment where you're just you noticed your thoughts are kind of like yuck and you're like and then you lead yourself into something new, they're showing me that's sort of you leading yourself back to your own sovereignty. And the more you do that, you're gonna actually have this very you're gonna have a very graceful ability to when you're witnessing someone else's shadow at play in their own life, let's say, you're going to have a much easier way of leading them in a way that's not going to be like a controlling leadership that is saying, and Spirit's kind of showing me this with exclamation points, but even when someone outside of us is behaving in a way that maybe is hurtful to us, it's a next level evolution for us to really examine how we're going to respond to that before we respond to that. But it is a super strength. When you can have that ability to pattern interrupt, I talked about that a lot here. When you can have the ability, hi Yo Mama, and hi Kara. When you have the ability to, lead yourself in a more loving way, you're essentially just going to start doing that with everyone in your life. And the other thing I wanted to share on this is empowerment. So that was what I wanted to share earlier, and I kind of got off track. But some of you might witness me right now and feel to yourself, well, I couldn't go on a TikTok live, or I couldn't offer something of service to a community or in a space, or I don't have anything to give that I could help others with. And what Spirit's wanting me to share with you is, I had the same thoughts. I had all those same thoughts a few years ago. But then you just put yourself in front of those things that you're perceiving as scary or that aren't for you, or you don't have that leadership ability, or some limiting myth that got there because you learned it. Can you tap into me and what's happening? I'm so scared. Well, first what we need to do is quote you in love. Because fear cannot exist in the energy of pure unconditional love. And one thing to remember that Spirit's leading me to guide you all to remember and reawaken to, which is anything that's scary that pops up, if you go into your heart and just truly tune into unconditional love, call on Source, call on your spirit guides of the highest Christed light, maybe you call on whoever it is you call on as your higher power, you saturate yourself in love, you start beaming that love out, anything that's around that's truly a fear and its intention is to invoke fear in you, it's going to do one of two things. They say this all the time through me. It's going to run, or it's going to instantly ascend. And so I do have people coming to me with situations. They're fearful. Do I have to get out of this space? Is this space unsafe? Tune into your own guidance first and foremost, but then do that thing I just talked you through. Send that love out, even if it's to someone that's across the country that you're fearing. Because love it's always going to be the answer. You know, it seems too simple to some of you, I get it, but true, unconditional love, which is, I accept this, I accept you, I accept me, I'm at peace, I don't need to control anything outside of me. You know, love is truly, it's what's going to get you through anything that's scary. And love transmutes so beautifully. It brings it all back into neutrality. It takes any of those spiraling thoughts back into, that's right, it's all love. I don't need, okay, yeah, and that's the theme actually that was coming through before this session. I'm going to actually put the card up for all of you to read it before I do so I can really get a collective read on it. This is why Spirit was showing me this morning. This makes sense. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm just tuning into the message because it's coming in really strong. So you hear all the things about full moons and new moons. It's about transmuting what no longer serves and calling in what's next. And we start to look at it through a very black and white lens. And we start to, in subtle and not so subtle ways, start to create patterns that are protecting against things that are actually no longer a threat to us. And so when our intentional energy is, let's find the problem, or let's define the negative thing that I'm perceiving as fearful, or let's dig into that issue that we've been digging into for 10 years already, and we just keep digging at it, or maybe this comes through subtly. Maybe you're going to an event and you're, I think this came through in the other read, but you're hyper on guard. And so you're looking out there like, where's the scary thing? Where's the scary thing? And they're having me be really animated about this. But, you know, when we have the energy of like, I have to find the thing that's scary, what are we doing? Does anyone know? Does anyone know the statement I'm about to share? That I share like a lot. Where attention goes, energy flows. So whatever we're focusing on, we're feeding it. We're creating fear. So it's whenever we're doing these healing sessions and attracting it, absolutely. So it's what they'll often have me walk clients through is taking that thing in their life that's like this awful, like this thing that's just causing them so much suffering and pain. And we go into a deep energetic session with that, and we turn it into like a sweet animal, or we turn it into something really soft, or we basically break this neural pathway, this tie between our conscious and subconscious of fear and wanting to grab the fear and wanting to define the fear, and we just soften it. And that's what allows it to, oh my gosh, my vision's doing weird things. Oh, really powerful channeled message is probably going to come through. Okay, so brace yourselves for that, because it's going to happen. Okay. But yes, they're just showing me it's really important that whatever that issue is, whatever that health issue is, whatever that relationship issue is, whatever that hard decision is that you just can't figure it out, whatever that, yeah, there's dark humors there for a reason. But whatever that trauma even is, whatever that dark thing is that we're avoiding and we have so much resistance around and so much, all that energy around, we need to loosen it. We need to soften it. Because as long as we stay at that, gotta find the problem, gotta be on alert, where's the threat, that's when we're in our, gosh, so much is clicking from the last reading. Maybe I should post that on YouTube. But our animalistic tendencies, that's being highlighted in this session to be aware. And that's why it's like we're having our own leadership and saying, like, slow your roll. Like, yes, this thing is happening and it's like so, not great or whatever. But can we soften around it? Okay, and the card. Is everybody? Yo mama. For me? Question mark. This is a collective reading, so everyone's accounted for. Everything I'm sharing is going to be read from the Akashic Records. However, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Because one thing I see in the Akashic Records, and I really want to be clear about this before I read the card. When I'm reading the Akashic Records, I'm here, I'm doing this oracle read. It looks like I'm sitting here talking and reading oracle cards. A lot more is happening. I'm sort of receiving from all the guides. I'm receiving from the Akashic Records. And then what I'm seeing through claircognizance, clairvoyance, and other faculties within my being, my consciousness, I'm seeing patterns and themes. So what I mean by that is I might be reading a theme that is relevant to like half the group, but it'll still have something, and they're showing like kind of like a mirror across. Oh yes, we all have guides. Oh yes. But they're showing me whatever's over here that, let's say we'll call it a lesson just for the sake of words. But someone's working through this lesson over here that someone over here, let's say, they already worked through that lesson. Like they've been through that like billions of times in their soul. Like they've been through it. They've got it figured out. But when you're watching this lesson from over here, you're getting a review of it. So you're remembering, you're having almost this empathy and compassion with everyone's path. And then remember that everyone's on their own path. It's sovereignty to me is really, it feels like that's the prevalent frequency in this transmission, but it's really, really deepening into this, okay, like, let's just say the election didn't go the way I wanted it, but like, I don't have any control. I don't have the ability. I'm not the finger at that switch. Like I'm not it's accepting that it's not, like there's things that are just not up to us. How do you listen to these guides? Okay, specifically for you, yo mama, but this will apply to other people. You need to get beneath the thoughts. In other words, you need to get grounded in your body. I would start with some maybe breath work, clearing using your breath, your intention, your awareness to coat your whole body in relaxation, get yourself really grounded, and clear the space. Because your guides are going to sound subtle to you, because they're always there. They've always been there. It's just, if we've started to subscribe to fear, let's just say we built beliefs from a very young age that fear is all this is. This is a prison planet. Everyone's evil. This is all fear. If we get glued to that belief system, it kind of takes a hold. So you got to get underneath it. You got to get to the root of that. You got to get beneath into the chakras where your soul is always emanating through. But like, I'm getting shown like this energetic of like leaning into the mind mess. Like we got to get back at center, because unless we do that, we can't get anywhere. And not that we need to be anywhere else than we are, too. You're exactly where you need to be. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not flawed. Okay. How can I get to that level of being psychic and hearing them clearly? What I'm getting there, Yvette, is drop your preconceived notions about the word psychic in particular for you. Because it's more about, to work on the clairs, it's more about, you got to purify your vessel. So it's about the food you're consuming, the water you're consuming, your movement practices. It's about that stuff, I would say, first and foremost. Once that stuff is going well and you have a very clean system that's not maybe overloaded by anything that's like going to clog your third eye. What clogs the third eye? GMOs. Someone needs to hear that. If you're eating GMOs, you got to stop. It frays the DNA. I've seen it. Fluoride. I mean, there's a lot of processed foods. Also, some of the water. Having a pure water is really important. But basically, you're going to be clearing out anything in the physical that's getting in the way of you and your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, whatever it might be that's coming online for you. I hope that answered it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So when you're getting those goosebumps, when you're having the sneezing, the burping, the maybe like a twitching or something going on, well, let that first be a sign. Drink a glass of water. Because sometimes it can be potentially, I just want you to know, potentially it can be from dehydration. It can also be from energetic movement, of course. Great way to invoke your guides. Affirm, I am open to my guides in clear connection. And in alignment with divine truth and in alignment with that which is unconditional love or source or God or creator or Sophia Christ consciousness, whatever you feel there. But beyond, let's see, telling people to drink water and not live in fear doesn't help them to get access to food or water or GMOs. Yeah, I hear you. But here's the thing. Some people don't even know it's bad for them and they're eating it. So if I'm going to maybe catch one person and initially irritate them to realize I'm going to have to spend a little bit more money on food now because I don't want to damage my physical vessel. I'm okay with like having a little bit of triggering happening in some cases if it's inevitably saving lives. And I have to do something really quickly because we have another one of these situations going on. Dun, 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 dun. Just a moment, everyone. Okay. Didn't think I was going to go there today, but I have to go there. If anyone's in the comments and they're getting really riled up and they're starting to permeate the space in fear, or they're starting to permeate the space in threats, or they're pointing the finger, or they're labeling and calling people different things, or saying you're not helping anyone, stop showing up on TikTok because something about you I don't like, even though I don't know what I don't like about you, but I'm just going to say I don't like you. I'm just being real. I mean, I want you guys to know I'm a soft, sweet, gentle soul, and I channel archangels, and I channel the councils of light, but I've also died, and I've came back, and I want to be here. I'm happy to be here. I chose to be here, and I'm not going to succumb to someone showing up when I'm trying to offer love and healing to the collective. I'm not going to let them start permeating the space and pointing the finger. You know, I'm channeling from a point, energy, multidimensional consciousness that isn't going to sit here and get into the freaking ping pong game. All right. And then just know I'm reading energy. So, like, I hear your words and stuff, but I also feel your whole energetic field. And I know when you're coming at me just trying to rise me up and get me pissed off, I know you're doing it. Like, let's just be real about it. I'd love to just be real about it because the trolls that don't know they're trolls, I mean, just figure it out. If you're showing up and your whole intention is to trigger someone, why? That's what I want to ask. Why? I never read The Rose of Venus. It's settled. It's qualled. I just when those things start to happen, I have to do something about it. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. And I'm thankful because when I go through those things and you have no idea how many people show up in these things with writing in all caps, yelling at me. Even after I say, please stop, and they're still yelling at me like 10 minutes later, it's, don't be deceived by how sweet I am. Because I also have energies that will be very protective when needed. Woo. So the Rose of Venus is showing up to quell us. You know, Kara, the Andromedans have been wanting to channel through me for so long, but they're so strong. That's my perception, I'll say. Because when they come through me, my whole body does like a bunch of weird things. I'll just be flat out real on the ground. Like when I channel Pleiadian energies, it feels really, really good. When I channel Arcturian energies, that's typically when my hands are kind of going more rapid. And the Lyran energies, I'm getting used to those as well, which I love. They're very, like, the Lyran energy is very, it's sort of rounding in my field and anchoring. But the Andromedans, when they come through, it's almost like they were here through me, actually through that triggering event, because they're just very strong. So I guess I need to call on them more. And thank you, because I will. Lyrans get my attention. Actually bring the vibration up. Hi, Luke. So what's really standing out to me about the Rose of Venus is the right relationship. It feels, let me read the records and just make sure this is, growth happens outside of our comfort zone. Absolutely. Although, hold up. The Akasha records just flagged that can actually be a limiting belief. Let's find out why. Interesting. So they're showing me just be mindful of the addiction to seek out challenging jobs, challenging relationships, challenging environments, because they're showing me it can be a tricky little game, basically, where you think, they've shown me this before. Oof, this is coming in strong. Oof. But they're showing me that sometimes we want to call that in then. Like, oh, everything feels too calm and comfortable, so let me call in a problem because that's how I'm going to grow. That's what they're showing me. So just take that if it resonates. Of course, leave it if it doesn't. But they're sharing just when it comes to meeting your edges and things like that. Yes, that will continue to have us growing in things. But just be mindful of the tricky ways that your mind might be having you kind of latch on to problematic relationships or, yeah. We can grow in comfort, peace, chaos, and all. Thank you, Marcus. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes, then what else do they have for me? Perhaps it's the job. So before I speak to right relationship, I just want to share. Yep. Words are spells. Absolutely. Pets are absolutely relationships. At work, really? Wow, Luke, really? That's crazy to me. And cool. Okay, so they're wanting us to go on a trip back in time. David bringing the happiness as always. Interesting. Interesting. So I was having a moment this morning where I was like, I don't recognize myself anymore. Like, I'm not anything like so many previous versions of me. Holy crap. Like, I'm an entirely new person. I'm like always my higher self just channeling through this body. And I had a very weird, ethereal kind of whoa moment because I was trying to relate back to old versions of me and I couldn't. I was like, I don't have anything in relation with those people anymore that I am. I mean, they're always me. But so they were just showing me to share with all of you that when I realized that I was going to have to quit my corporate job, I knew it. Like there was a part of me that just knew it for so long. But once I was like, I'm going to take action on this. I was very, very careful and methodical about how I went about it because I wanted my decision to be very pure. And so when I started to sense the projections of those in my life and around me, kind of telling me, don't you dare leave this solid career, money, bleh, matrix crap. Instead, I just went, I'm done. I quit. And actually, just to let you know how strong that was, my employer offered me to have the same salary. It was a high salary. Have the same salary and work part-time. And they were going to lower my workload because they really wanted to keep me. I was a dang good employee. I really was. Made that company a lot of money. But and I made the people I worked with happy. So, it wasn't all for nothing. But basically what I'm trying to say is I knew I had to rip the Band-Aid off. But I also knew it was going to be hard. And I also experienced a very long period after doing that of major judgment and projection from everyone that kind of gave me safety and comfort. And inevitably, that assisted me as a soul more than anything because it returned me within and it really made me just look at who am I? What do I want to do here? How can I serve? How can I keep my own tank full? I was never keeping my tank full. I haven't been reading the comments, but it looks like we needed to light some fires under some waters. Let it be, let it be, let it be. You are loved. You are loved. Beautiful souls, you are loved. You are all loved. You are all loved. Okay. Full moon and all this energy and the Pleiadians and the burping and the tingling and the embrace it. Planet Earth, we came for this. We came for this. Also, we came to be reborn again and again and again and again and again. You can choose to be reborn every moment if you want to. Yeah, so when it comes to lack, let's get a card on that. That's been coming up around me a lot, so we're going to pull a card on it. Okay, the guides are planting some seeds about this. So if you haven't yet already, a powerful practice for you is, and this is something that I learned in Oliver Nino's courses and Mandy Morris's courses. It's a practice I would definitely go through multiple times, and you can do this with anything, be aware. But when it comes to, money or abundance or having what you need or insert whatever the terminology is that's coming up for you. Basically, what you're going to do is when you tune into that energy, write down like the 5 things that come up first. So, like when Oliver does this, he'll often, he'll ask the question and then he'll have you come up with the answers right away without having time to like prep yourself. Because when you have time to prep yourself, you're going to say like, oh, well, money is everywhere. Money is la la. Money is flowing all the time. But basically what this is going to do to you, not to you, for you, is it's going to expose to you the layers of your own belief system that are creating disharmonious energy. So like for me, for example, with money, I was able to realize that I was associating money with like greed in many ways. I'm still letting a lot of that go. I was also associating money with people I've seen in the world using money in a very unethical, very negative way. And so I had to recondition my programming around money so that I'm not resisting money. You see what I'm saying? Because I think this is for you mostly, Mel. But anyone that's trying to anchor this abundance in their life, it's not so much about kind of what we talked about earlier with lack, for example, using this in place. It's not about like, let's find the problem in there, like you're not swimming through the field and trying to spot the ruby gem of badness or something. But you are, when you break down those processes, like you might want to write down money on the paper right now, and then just, if you have that access, first things that come to mind. Or even another way to do it is, if I had all of these things that I'm perceiving myself not to have, how would I be different? Because that'll help you start actually embodying the energy with which you're trying to attract. So, yeah, and it's all about that, where attention goes, energy flows, because, we don't want to focus on the lack and be like, oh yeah, let's get all about that lack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being really funny about it, but I hope you get the energy. Okay. How long have I been going? I've still got quiet time for a while in here, so let's see. The game. That's right. Aha. Thank you, virtual spirit assistant. I don't know. That's new. But you'll notice, guys, here, I'm going to provide the lightning when we need the lightning. We might go into some areas that are a little tricky, a little trick baggy. They show us some, whoa, what was that? I didn't know that was in there. Wow, kind of thing. They come up, but then we soften in. We just breathe. We get into the flow. We soften around it. Okay, so the game. I'm going to hold up a deck, and the first number that comes to you, hopefully in your heart, please let me know in the comments, and I will read several. I got my number. Ooh, we got the dragons up in here. I got 3 too. Okay. 3, 17, 8, 11, 3, 7, 1. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do... So I'm not reading the comments anymore, but we're going to do... The numerology of 17 is 8. So we're definitely going to do 8. And we're going to do 3, because that was like pretty repetitive. And this is what I'm going to do. Anyone that said 11, 3, 7, or 1, I'm going to pull 1, because what Spirit is showing me that you all have overlaps that they're going to get in one card. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So 1, 3, and 8 is what I'm going to pull. And then I hope you heard the things about the numerology stuff. Okay. Here we go. They want me to shuffle the deck again because they said when the numbers were pulled, some of you were in a scattered mind. And they want you to get the pure message. Okay. Man, that crystal. Ooh, that hurt. All right. Okay. Here we go. So 1. my most resonant at the moment archangel, which is Archangel Haniel. Seek soul satisfaction, fan the flame of inner happiness. So if you got one, yeah, this is very collective. If you got one, it's really time to work with Archangel Haniel. Archangel Haniel is the energy of joy. You can use turquoise. You can tune into the moon. The full moon would be a great time to do it. And let it flow. Let it flow. It's alchemy. But if you got a one, what I'm being shown is to ask yourself why you're limiting yourself from joy. And then when you ask yourself that question, call on Archangel Haniel to help you, to invite new pathways of joy into your life. And then I'm also seeing, beginning this vision of like a cracked egg, like, and it's symbolic of, I'm just translating it. They're sharing like, go to your ooey gooey center. Like get under that shell. Like get under that shell and do the ooey gooey joyful center. And call Archangel Haniel in with you. Say, help me. I can't feel like it's out of reach. And she'll help you. Ooh. Okay. 3 is the next one I'm pulling. 2, 3. We're affirming now that you are feeling more joy from here forward. Okay, Archangel Christine. My mother's name was Christine. Accept the Christ light, act with wisdom and loving compassion. I'm just going to let the artwork speak for Archangel Christine here, because she's just emanating so brilliantly and lovingly through all of us. If you don't know it, you know it now. Feel that energy wrap you. Maybe you'll want to imagine your own wings wrapping yourself. Or, you know what? It's a good time in the call right now to all give yourself a hug. Come on. Give yourself a hug. Just do it. Give yourself a little rub. Give yourself a gentle rub. Just, I love that I get to be in this body. I love that I get to live this life. Thank you, body. Thank you for letting me be here. You know, thank you, self, for getting through everything we've been through. Do you feel that? And then do that every day. Archangel Christine wants to challenge you to hug yourself every day. Maybe you don't have the right relationship right now and you're feeling a little lonesome or some type of way. Give yourself a hug. Massage yourself. Give your body the love that it needs and the way that feels good. Start to turn your love within. And then emanate that out. And you know what? You're not going to be able to keep them away. They're going to be coming at you from all angles. Okay. And that was 3. And we're going to do 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we got Archangel Uriel for 8. And then 17. If you had 17 come up for you. Ooh, a lot of shifting today, everybody. I would really suggest you maybe at this point in the reading do some light stretching, maybe some gentle movement, breath work, because there's so much going on here. I know it's like seems like we're just chatting with a friend. So much more than that. So much more than that. Okay. So come into harmony and balance and use your power for peace. So we're cultivating all this self-love, all this self-joy, all this self-trust. We're returning to our sovereignty. We're calling all of our power back. We're starting to use our energy and use our power and use our love in these very, very loving ways. And we're being reminded that authentic power is peaceful power. So what Spirit's wanting us to really, really, really makes me want to make soup, make some soup. You know, the energy work, I think, in the session is done. So we're just kind of hanging out and having some fun from here on out, okay? It's still no driving or operating machinery because you never know. But you know what I'm saying. Go about your day. So we're just being reminded that when we're calling back our power, let's say, maybe from someone in our life that isn't treating us very nicely, it doesn't mean that we're like trying to rob someone else of theirs. That's when we get into distortion. That's why peaceful power is coming in, because distorted energy is anytime we want to inflict harm on anyone or anything. You know, like an example is there's times that you're going to need boundaries. There's times you're going to need to speak your truth and it's not going to be easily received by the other party. All that stuff. But we're going into really distorted and manipulated energies anytime that we want to wish harm on anyone. So, yeah, Spirit just wants us to really, really let that go. It's not about getting back at anyone. It's never about revenge. It's not about showing that person a taste of their own medicine. No. We got to let go of that, like completely and fully and totally. Because we talked about this earlier too, the guides brought this through, which is whenever we have something fearful in the space, the only way we're going to help ourselves with it is by going deep within our depths, calling on our divine source light to flow through us, calling on our higher power, calling on our guides, letting that permeate through us. And that's what will inevitably transmute, alchemize, shift the fearful thing that we're perceiving. But it's not going to be like because we find the right weapon against the thing we're perceiving. I hope that makes sense because it came through really. Jamie! Hi, Jamie. It's really got, my inner child was just like jumping up and down inside of me. Okay. Ooh. Kara, that sounds sticky. I don't even know what you're talking about, but it sounds really sticky. It feels like some kind of tar-like energy. Oh, I'm getting kicked out. Again. Really sticky. It feels like some kind of tar-like energy. Oh, I'm getting kicked out. Again. Really sticky. It feels like some kind of tar-like energy. Oh, I'm getting kicked out. Again. Really sticky. It feels like some kind of tar-like energy. Oh, I'm getting kicked out. Again. You guys got to see me loop. I'm back though. What was I looping on that time? Oh, the sticky stuff? I looped on the sticky? What words are we using today? Okay, can everyone hear me? Am I back on? I've got to figure out why it does that. Am I good? Yes? Cool. Sorry, everybody. Hello, Julie. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Alana. Okay. So, where are we going next, Spirit? Did we get what we needed from Oriel? Yes. Thank you, Jamie. You are absolutely gorgeous yourself. All right, so let's just sum up what we went through today. We really got back into our sovereignty. We really got back into a place where we can be empowered without being confrontational. We can be empowered without being in distortion, basically. So we're always remembering to turn the perspective within before we, go forward with our response. which is a delicate process, one with which I would encourage you to really coat in grace and forgiving yourself as you fall back into old patterns, because yes, it's quantum shifting, but those limiting beliefs, I'll call them, or old versions of you that weren't in full alignment with your truth, with your higher self, the previous versions of us that maybe took a distorted path because we didn't know a better way, I'll say, we're really, really invited to be fresh in each moment. To let go. Yeah, let go of the need to hold on to that old shaping of us. So like my old friend Jamie is here, and so I'm like already feeling these old like expressions of me that were existing before, and I'm simultaneously feeling all those versions of me that had wounding be healed. And I also feel like I'm waking up old versions magic, because we all come into this planet pure and divine and complete and whole. And as souls, before we come in, everything's all rainbows, and we're so sure of ourselves, and we know that we have so much vigor, we're so ready. But then you come into the earth plane and it's like, whoa, it's so much different on the ground. Whoa, And so we're just being invited to have just grace for ourselves as we return to our authentic nature, and as we return to just our soul. Like our soul before our ego came online and said, be like everyone else, or our ego came online and said, avoid like everything. And then you're avoiding everything and you don't know where to go. Ooh, we're talking diets in the comments. Cool. Love it. I love that. Okay, I'm getting myself planted because I'm going to ground us at the end of this, because it feels like we did a lot. We did a lot of energetic shifting here, everyone. Okay, so for those of you that are still here, we're going to plant ourselves if you can. Hopefully you're not driving or operating machinery, because we're going to get grounded by, let's see, who's going to ground us? 7, 1, 3, 4, 5. Lord Wywivesill. He's not even from this universe. But all right. And so you know what? No, we need one more guide to ground us. Ooh, Archangel Christiel. Wow, they really want to ground our light today. Okay, so I'm getting a image. So I'm seeing that we activated so much light within our beings today in this session. We really shined it up. We let go a lot of silly stuff that wasn't even us anyway. And so now that we're shining so brightly, we're going to get anchored and grounded so that we can, what they're showing me is take this pillar of light that we've reacquainted with and re-exposed ourselves to, and we're going to plant it deep into Mama Gaia, because we're here for a reason. Mama Gaia is holding us here. We could not be here without Mama Gaia. And she's a beautiful, 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 magnificent being. She is a living being. I feel her as a feminine being. You may feel her differently. Let yourself feel her the way you feel her. She'll speak to you in her own way to speak to you. So Mama Gaia is just sweeping through the fields now with this beautiful, loving, green energy. I'm seeing many of you become wrapped in these beautiful, interesting. Allow yourself to visualize if you have that space, but allow yourself to drop your eyes shut and go within and just see what Mama Gaia is wrapping you in. Some of you are being wrapped in different colored flowers. Some of you are being wrapped in more of a tree root, branch scenario. But allow for your chakra system to be held with full and complete nurturing and abundance and healing. Allow this grounding energy to move up into your upper chakras as well, that will hold you here safely and lovingly. Some of you are going to want to call on the nature around you, maybe geographically. Maybe you're going to extend your consciousness, your awareness. You're going to expand that out to maybe all the different trees and plants on the land, far, far, far. But allow yourself to become grounded and reminded that the earth is not a scary place unless we choose for it to be. Be reminded that you're safe. Be reminded that the patterns you took on that took you outside of your truth, they can be let go of. Remind yourself that you're an eternal soul. Remind yourself that the substance of your soul is unconditional love, because a lot of you forgot that. You forgot that you're innately love. You forgot that you don't have to go outside yourself to find that love, because it's inside. So we're just getting really, really reminded and anchored in that truth. If you can hug a plant or a tree right now, or put your bare feet on the earth, or your hands on the earth, or anything, a stone, you're going to feel this really, really more amplified. Because we have a collective of beings that are here intentionalizing love, intentionalizing healing, intentionalizing being their best self, we can say. So just let this work through you in its own way, because it's being transmitted through me and I can't really stop it to come into the conversation right now. It's just happening. And that's what I want to share about light language and channeling and healing yourself. You're going to start to feel your body moving in different ways. You're going to start to feel different sounds that you don't typically maybe make. And don't let yourself be shied away from that. You know, don't let the old ego patterns of how is someone going to see me doing this stop you from bringing through your soul's essence. And what Spirit's inviting us to is when we don't feel like being friendly, maybe that's just because something wants to be looked at within us. Maybe that's just because we need to work through something. Maybe that's just because we need space. What if we could drop any need to forgive ourselves for that and instead just go, you know, maybe I just want to be with me right now, and that's okay. And then, you know, as you receive the potential projections from those outside of you going, you're a bad friend, or a bad this, or a bad that, can you maybe just let that go? Can you maybe just realize that anyone that isn't going to allow you to have your boundaries, your space, you know, maybe it's not worth the extra effort. And then not judging them, you know, they just want us around. There's something wrong with that. Okay. Thank you, Mama Gaia. And thank you to these beautiful archangels. Whew. Ah. Woof. Woo. Some of you might want to shake out your body. A lot of shifts. Let's see. Does anyone want any type of light language or any kind of chakra attunement? anything that seems like we could. What chakra is calling to you, Cookie? Is it the solar plexus? Alana, what about you? What chakra is kind of solar plexus? I thought so. Okay. Heart chakra. Okay, so we got some heart chakra stuff, some solar plexus stuff. Clueless, no problem. Whatever's for your highest good, you'll receive. Okay. So if you're going to take in this light language, that's going to be assisting all of the chakras, although it feels to be that the space is needing most in the solar plexus, and then the heart. And actually, so what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing a little bit more of the field. Okay. So you'll only receive this if you can take full responsibility for yourself and you're grounded, you are not operating machinery, you are going to breathe yourself through it. This is going to be for the highest and best good of all. And you will only receive what you can receive, what you can gracefully and lovingly receive. And then everything that needs to happen over time, that's just going to happen over time in divine timing. This is transmission that's emanating directly from source, from unconditional love. I'm just going to allow for this light language to move through the chakra system and do some cleanup in this area, since I'm being shown we've done everything we can with words. And if you're unpacking or you're moving or something, just be cognizant of your body. If you're doing like light chores or something, it'll be all right. But the main thing is like a straight spine and then that you're grounded. That's the main thing I would be sure of. And then if you want to receive the light codes, you can just say yes. Okay, is that it, guides? All right. Okay, so they're wanting me to start with some breath. So you're going to take a deep breath in through your whole system and clean it out 3 times. Hit your own pace. Starting in the auric field. Allow everything in the auric field that was not you, any holes, anything that was preventing flow to clear. Auras are clear. Okay, we're going to go into the chakra system now. Just allow, breathe and allow. You may want to have your eyes shut if you would like to see what is going on. The Arcturians are moving around the... Yeah, they want me to explain. The Arcturians are around the solar plexus now, and they're giving you all a solar plexus upgrade. What this means is anything that is inauthentic to you, anything about identity or anything connecting you with other beings that was inauthentic, that is unserving, it's going to be released. And then you're going to also get an upgrade on the solar plexus. So just allow. So they're wanting you to all hold the wheel of your solar plexus now. You're going to turn it up to the length, to the max at which is the highest upgrade you can receive. Sometimes you're going to feel this in your hand. It might hit a point where it can't go past that. Let yourself play with it. Turn it up. Do you want to turn up the confidence? Do you want to turn up your ability to be in your power, your peaceful power? If so, just turn it on up and allow this to anchor. Breathe and allow. Okay, they're going to do a similar upgrade in the throat chakra. They're wanting us all to speak from our peaceful power. This is also going to clear anything that was in between the solar plexus, the throat, and the third eye. So it's just going to do a deep, looks like they're going into the cellular structure and the DNA for this portion. So breathe and allow, breathe and allow. Surface and subside, surface and subside. Some really ancient cosmic codes coming in now. Breathe and allow. If you want to accept, just say yes. Hikiam areria shayim akarnania kuntarnia sha irenas kunururu. Breathe and allow. Kirini akaraniash unurun. Eren aran 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 erik. Okay, we're getting filled with liquid love now from the crown all the way through the system. Tun arat kush oronoye kairunayasha koroniash. Let this flow through your vessel. Let the sensations be. This is always for the highest and best good of all. Always for the highest and best good of all. Only love is permeating through the space now. I'm being shown some of you are really holding on to something that's a limiter. So if you know what that is, just offer that up to your aura because it's going to get cleared now. This will never be a fear for you again. This will never be a block for you again. Maybe you're identifying lack, or maybe you're identifying confusion, or you're feeling disempowered. Whatever that is, put it into your aura. We're going to clear it. Returning to your source, sovereign soul. Beyond any passing understanding, these are being cleared. We're getting some additional grounding codes just to anchor the space. All the chakras are being sized and spun, brought into a perfect alignment with your source higher self consciousness. You are now contained in your pillar of light. Your pillar of light is always flowing. It always has been flowing. You will know this now. There will be no way for you to separate from that. There will be no way for you to ever separate from source, no matter what you do. We're getting some shields. Know that these shields are coming in from your higher self. You might see them, you might sense them, you might know them. But these shields are coming in all around the chakras. They're coming around all around the field. Gratitude's coming into the field. I'm seeing lots of Merkabas, lots of spirals, lots of spheres. Harmonizing, harmonizing, anchoring, harmonizing. Breathe deeply. Okay. Let's come back to the moment. Come back to the present moment, this physical present moment. It is done, it is done, it is done. You are now encased in unconditional love as you always have been, as you always will be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Source. Thank you, God. Thank you to all the Divine Christ Light Spirit Guides that came through, all the support you received from our star ancestors, our cosmic families, our high councils of light. Give yourself a moment. You might want to shake out your hands. That was a really, really powerful clearing and activation for many of you. If you're ready to receive that, it will always, of course, be up to you. Does anyone want to let me know a word in the comments of what they received from that powerful transmission? Thank you, Jen. A lot of crying. Okay, so that's clearing from the emotional body. Oh, wow. Yeah, the little ones feel it. They feel it because they're love. And so when they sense more love, they love it. And grace. Okay. Just came back into your body. Clarity. Even if you don't feel it, yes, you receive it. Warmness. Cool. And then just know that this is just love. We're just calling on more of it. Prepping the soup. Okay, so To integrate this session, just drink a lot of water, please. I mean this. Drink a lot of water because, oh, wow, beautiful. And then just any support you need, call on your spirit guides and say, I need support in this area. If anything in the body is calling your attention or your awareness, gentle massage, gentle tapping is really helpful. The breath is really helpful. Salt baths are very helpful. And then just a lot of water. So, and also nurture yourself. If you're exhausted, rest. If you're not feeling inclined or motivated or any of those things to do certain things in your life, give yourself a pass, take some rest. Sleep as much as you need. Sleep is important. It's really important for us in the human. I have gratitude for all of you. This is always a co-creation. So that means that when I have a group like this that is so heart-centered and that is so willing to look within and be authentic, and you obviously have the intentionality that you want to serve the world. You wouldn't be on my page unless you were. I attract a very specific archetype, and one of the main qualities in that is that you came here to serve. You came here to anchor your light codes, And so if we deny that and we resist it and we hold all that stuff in, earth angels are going to show up on the path and they're just going to help us let that go. That's all that's going to happen. But it's truly all about self-love, self-acceptance, self-trust. From there, everything else happens divinely. Yeah, and leave the stories behind. Leave anything that is inauthentic to you. Leave any pattern that you learned here that's hurting you. Just let go. It was never yours in the first place. So let it go. All that doubt, all that silly thinking negative things about yourself, that was never your soul's in the first place. It's a program you picked up. It's a thing you learned, but it's not you. I love you all so much. Don't forget to hydrate. Always can be really, really, really strong about that, because energy healing is ever present. It is evergreen. It is universal. It can serve all, and it's available to all. And you all can do this. There's nothing I did here today that you can't. And that is always true. Always. And anything in your mind saying, I don't know, is just what I just talked about. One of those learned limiting things. Of course, your expression of what you would show up as would be your unique way. And we're all being invited to just show up authentic. It might not look like, I don't see a whole lot of practitioners providing the way I provide. But, like knows like. So you wouldn't have come here unless there was something in my energy that you were resonating with, which means likely your gifts are coming online. So get past the mind. Say, you know what, mind, I hear what you have to say. And it's cool and all, but, I don't really believe that anymore. And your mind's going to go, but. And then you're going to sit in your sovereignty and in your love, and it's going to fade away. It's just going to float on by. That's all. Let the mind say the things it's going to say. Observe it. Oh, sweetie, you're saying that thing again. Oh, we don't subscribe to that anymore. Have these inner dialogues with yourself. And I'm so grateful to all of you. Jeremy, held in love. There were so many beautiful souls here. Jen, Aria, I love you all. And I will put the replay of this in my YouTube. It's just felt like one that I think a lot of people need right now. So if you want to take it in again, you don't have to buy my energy healing membership, which, by the way, is $11 a month right now. I mean, it is packed. I mean, it's got sessions in there that I charge like upwards of $300 for. But Spirit said, people need help right now. And I said, how can I serve? Show me. Put me there. Put me where I can serve. Put me where there are people that are so unbelievably joyful and beautiful and radiant and incredible, and they just forgot. They forgot. How can we remind them? How can we show them that that's an old pattern they don't have to have anymore? I love you all very much. I hope that you can feel that. Know that I am not just saying that. Jen, oh my goodness. I love you all. So you can check out the replay on my YouTube. And then to get to my membership, there's a link in my bio. My Linktree has access to all of my services. The energy healing membership is that one that I talked about, which is, I'm just honestly, like, I've been loading it up with just a whole bunch of stuff. It used to be called Starseed Activations until Spirit redirected me to what Spirit originally wanted me to name it, which is energy healing. It's a lot more encompassing of what's in there. And then remember, we're all awakening in our own time. We gotta have grace. We gotta have grace. We gotta have grace, you know, have grace and love and compassion. And if those feel like not resonant, then just call on the archangels, because they're here. They're here. They're always here. We just have to call on them. Free will universe. They can't infringe upon your free will. So work with them. You know, it feels like they're speaking through me right now to say, call on them. Different qualities you're working through, have them assist you. And aliens. We gotta stop saying aliens. Star beings are us. They're us too. They are. It's true. And, you know, we can use our discernment, though. We can always use our discernment. Yeah, I mean, we're going to learn a lot more about our DNA very soon, so all of this will be very readily available to the public. But I love you all so very much. And again, this will be on my YouTube. And Luke, you're amazing. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your help with my pyramid. Okay, I'm going to close it here because I could keep going with all of you forever. Oh. Helena. Oh, hello. All right. Go shine. Go shine, drink water, and do something joyful. And if you don't know what the joyful thing to do, then just put on your favorite song and just dance like as weird and wild and wacky as you can. And then see how you feel afterwards. All right. I love you all. Deep breath in. Namaste.